Hey guys, my name is Bryce and you're with Life Being Free Ministries. As you can tell from the headline, I'm going to be breaking down the truth with the Matariki meaning behind this new public holiday that New Zealand now celebrates, which is the second year, I'm pretty sure, that we are now keeping as a public holiday. So what I'm going to do is break down a video here, as you can see, and we're going to have a look at it through a biblical point of view, and yeah, that's just talk about it as we go. And just before I start, I do not own the copyright to this video. I will put them all in the comment sections below, so if you do want to look at the videos yourself, you're more than welcome to. Alright, it started.
The eyes of God, or otherwise known as Ngā mata o te āriki o tāwhiri mātea. Matariki is a cluster of stars used to mark the Māori New Year. It was used to help predict the coming year. There are many stories about Matariki in Aotearoa, and this is one of them. Way back in the beginning, when Tāne separated his parents, Ranginui and Papa Tuonuku, he pushed them apart. That left one of his brothers feeling furious. He was not happy that Tāne had separated his parents, and that brother was Tāwhiri Mātea.
So yeah, firstly off the bat, I don't mean to offend anyone's cultures, upbringings, but definitely these cool Māori representations do look very demonic just straight off the bat, so yeah, keep going.
In his anger and in his fury, he tore out his eyes and crushed them and threw them into the heavens. His eyes making up the cluster that we know today as Matariki. Matariki is it.
How can they prove that? What's the standing behind that?
The centre of the star cluster is Tupuarangi and Tupuanuku, Waiti, Waita, Waipunarangi, Ururangi. And there is also Pohutukawa and Hiwa Itirangi, or Hiwa. Puanga and Rehua were also other stars that helped bring in the Māori New Year. Matariki is the mother of this cluster of stars, is a healer.
So now they've got to break down, there's a meaning behind all these different stars.
Star, and it's connected to the health and well-being of all people.
So that first star, they're saying it's connected to the health and well-being of all people. Alright, so what does the Bible say? It says that God and Jesus is the true healer, right? So I just want to go through a few scriptures before we go any further. I will put them on the screen for you guys as I'm reading them out. So I'll just split some off. So we've got Psalms 103 verse 3. Who forgive all, this is King James by the way, who forgive all thy iniquities, who healed all thy diseases. Exodus 23:25, and ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. Jeremiah 33:6, behold, I will bring it, heal and cure, and I will cure them, and I will reveal to them the abundance of peace and truth. Psalms 147:3, he healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. And of course, there's a bunch of stories that Jesus did in the New Testament and in the Gospels, obviously, of all the healings he did. So I'll drop a screenshot in there. So if you haven't read them, I highly encourage you to do so. But yeah, clearly the star does not provide healing, right?
Puarangi is tied to food that comes from above your head, such as birds and fruit.
Okay, so now they're saying the star gives you your food. Okay, let's bring it back to the Bible. So let's go to Luke 12:22 to 24. So this is Jesus talking to the disciples. He says, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, neither for the body, what you shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and God feedeth them. How much more are you better than fowls?" So if God is feeding the fowls, it's very clear that he of course feeds us as well. Of course we can go deeper in that parable, but I just want to touch, that was just a quick skim over that point.
Tupunuku is tied to food that grows in the ground.
Yeah, so same reasoning as before.
Waiti is tied to food that comes from fresh water, like tuna.
I don't even know how people remember this, to be honest. It's so confusing.
Waita is connected to the food that comes from salt water, like our oceans and seas. Waipunarangi is tied to the rain. And Ururangi is tied to the winds. These two help us to understand the seasons.
Yeah, so what this reminds me of is Greek mythology. So they all tie into having these different gods or different, in this instance, different stars that they go to, that they worship or pray to, right? So what's very interesting, I'm going to quickly switch to this other video. So this guy is doing a presentation on, the same topic, the Matariki, and what they do. Before he goes into the presentation, he does a karakia, which is like a prayer. So I just want to go through this prayer really quickly, and it's very interesting who they pray to.
Interview Matariki, and we'll be talking about Matariki in terms of its association to time, and also the upcoming Matariki holiday that we will begin celebrating from next year. Nō reira tēnei te mihi nui kia koutou katoa. Just want to thank you all for joining on today. And so this seminar, we're going to start with a karakia, or an incantation that is associated with Matariki and the stars in the sky, and also show a quick clip about how Matariki gets its name.
So yeah, this is very, very interesting. So just guys, if you guys are not from New Zealand, this is Māori. This is like the native language that they speak. The So yeah, they're starting to pray to all these different star. I think these are star names, but yeah, keep going. Now the planets, so you've got Venus and Jupiter. I haven't heard of these other ones here. Then you got all these kind of mythology things. So you got Hades, you got Pegasus, and that's what kind of really sparked my attention there. So if you do a bit of research into the Greek gods and goddesses, there's a bunch of them, right? I'm not going to dive into every single one, but let's bring up the ones they mention, right? So they got Hades and Pegasus. So Hades ruled the world of the dead, with which he was sometimes synonymous. The chilly lord of the underworld was among the few Greek gods to come across as dispassionate. So why would you be praying to someone who ruled the world of the dead? That's my question. And what else we got? Hades, Pegasus. I don't know if that's in this name. So yeah, so you can see how these kind of different spiritualism thinkings are very tied back into the past. So literally history is repeating itself, right? So I'll leave it there, but I'm sure if you looked at this video and you research all of those names, I guarantee you better find way more information that ties deeply into the Greek gods and goddesses. So I'm not going to go into that for time's sake, but let's jump back into this other explanation breakdown.
Hiwa i te rangi, or Hiwa, is our wishing star. This is the star our ancestors will send their dreams and aspirations to.
So that sounds very similar to praying to God, right? But this is pretty much what paganism. You are worshipping the created rather than the creator. So it's yeah, we should definitely not be doing that, right?
Pohutukawa acknowledges our loved ones who have passed and allow them to continue on their journey into the heavens.
I find it quite ironic how they use a Christian cross on this one. But yeah, you know, the Bible clearly says that when people pass away, they are asleep. They don't go to a next heaven. So I'll bring up the verse in Ecclesiastes 9 verse 5. So the dead not know nothing, but I'll just bring it up on the screen here. But yeah, another deception here where it all goes back to the garden, right? Where Satan deceived Eve, telling her that she will never die. And till this day, Satan is still using that lie through all these New Age practices, these spiritual practices, all these other religions, that no matter what, when you die, you just go on to the next plane, you go on to the next heavens. And this is the same thing that, exactly same thing Satan is doing today.
These are the stars of Matariki. Matariki being the mother of the cluster of these stars, Tupuanuku and Tupuarangi, Tupuarangi being the food in the air, Tupuanuku the food that grows beneath, Ururangi connected to the winds, Waipunarangi the rain, Waiti our freshwater food like tuna, and Waita the food that comes from our saltwater coming from the seas and oceans. Pohutukawa acknowledging our love of.
So where am I hearing all this? For me, it's just so confusing. It always reminds me of that scripture. I'm just going to bring it up now. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 14:33. God is not the author of confusion. I'll chuck that on the screen right now. But yeah, it's a relationship with God is meant to be easy. You know, God is a personable God. It's not remembering all these different stars and terminologies and who to pray to and all that thing. So yeah, it's all just confusion, Babylon speak.
Ones that have passed. And Hiwa, or Hiwa i te rangi, our wishing star, where we send our aspirations and thoughts. And these are our whetū o Matariki, the stars of Matariki.
Alright, so that is the video, guys. So it's very interesting, but in summary, what I see is the old lies that Satan is doing repackaged up. So Matariki is just simply a new thing that is being, yeah, like I said, packaged up, mixed with paganism and also Greek mythology. But yeah, it all stems down to worshipping the created rather than the creator. So yeah, do research on it. I'll drop those links in the description if you do want to do some more deep diving, and like I said, I'll put all the scriptures up here that I've talked about today. But thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you guys' support, and God bless.